Hello, this is Jeff Bell, Crimson Political Action Council, and I'm here with Mr. Aaron Whiteley, incumbent Chatham County District 6 Commissioner, running for re-election. And with so much going on, and keeping in mind our Crimson Political Action Council's policy initiatives, we're glad to have Mr. Whiteley and to join us in voicing our resistance to Project 2025. The Crimson PAC, we're pro-family, pro-union, pro-public education, most certainly are for the reproductive rights of women, and in addition, supporting marginalized communities and common man. And our positions are diametrically opposed to Project 2025. And it's our position that we must raise our voice throughout our communities against Project 2025. And so we're so glad to hear from Mr. Whiteley. Being a county commissioner and being familiar with Project 2025, I'm sure you have quite a few things to say.
Yeah, I mean, when people read Project 2025, what you'll see is an attempt to roll back so many protections that our communities have, garnered over the years. When you hear them say, "Make America Great Again," we have to ask about where is that again? What period? And when I think about, some of the policies that they're looking to put into place, I mean, one of the things that concerns me is privatizing Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac have definitely helped underserved communities get access to housing or home ownership and wealth development and generational wealth creation. By privatizing that, what that does is mean it makes some institution like that geared towards making a dollar and not actually helping the communities, especially underserved communities. So that's why I'm proud to stand with Crimson PAC when we talk about creating economic opportunities for those underserved communities, because these are policies that help us create generational wealth and help us move forward.
Certainly. It seems as though with this Project 2025, and if you look at versus the common man, it's definitely anti-redistribution of wealth. And that's something Dr. King mentioned, that it was necessary, the redistribution of wealth, economic power, economic and political power. And essentially, if you had to guess, they should call it Project 1925, because it looks like that's where we would be heading. What are things that you and I can do in the positions that we're in, or just average everyday people, to be able to resist this and to make progress in spite of these efforts?
Yes, sir. Well, as you alluded to, Dr. King said, and I'll quote, "It's a cruel jest to ask a bootless man to pick himself up by his bootstraps." And so over time, government policies have created the environment for us to do better and to thrive, right? And when we see threats like Project 2025 coming up, what we can't do is sit and stay silent on it. When we see folks out here spewing the messages that are outlined in Project 2025 as if they support them, we can't sit and be quiet about it. We've got to speak up to it, but most importantly, we've got to use our circle of influence to encourage people who are running for office to continue to run. We have to use our circle of influence to encourage people to get out and vote. So again, please check to make sure you're registered to vote, because one thing that we're seeing with these Project 2025 supporters are concerted efforts to remove people off of the ballots. And so, not off of the ballot, but off of the voting rolls. So please check. I've talked to people who had voted in every election since they were 18 and they're in their 50s, and they learned that they were removed from the voting rolls. So please make sure that you're eligible to vote. Make sure that your family and those in your circle of influence are eligible to vote. But most importantly, make a plan to go vote. And if you have early voting in your community, early vote, y'all. Early vote. Make a plan to early vote, because election day is going to be nuts. And we want to get as many of those votes in so we can remove any type of barriers or excuses when we win.
And specific to Chatham County, how would you address, well, first of all, I think that much of many elements of Project 2025 have begun to be implemented on a state and local level.
Mhm.
How would you be able to have that message resonate with your constituents to make them understand, that even though Project 2025 would be a federal mandate, it's happening now on the ground in local communities. How would you rally your constituents?
Well, I would say that the state of our community is as strong as our future is. And when I look at Project 2025, one of the things they want to do is to dismantle the education Department of Education, the federal Department of Education, which is working to help ensure that our youth are getting a fair quality education. When you dismantle that and leave everybody out to dry, if you can't afford private schools, you may not be able to afford a strong education. And with that being the case, our future is doomed. So we cannot just look at it as our right now. Think about your children. Think about your children's children. The Bible says a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children, and you can help storing up. We might not have all the money. I know I don't have a bunch of money to leave to my grandkids, but I can use my vote to make sure that there are policies and people in place to ensure an equitable future and a good future for our families and our generations to come.
I certainly thank you, Brother Whiteley. I
Yes,
know we
sir.
could probably go on and on and on, and we would probably have an opportunity to kickstart this conversation all over again. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. It is an honor to be recognized and endorsed by Crimson Pack, and I appreciate the work y'all doing, and I look forward to standing with you in the future.
Thank you.